What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome. Here we are. Can you hear me? Do I look all right? Everything good? Making sure we're all set. This is my favorite time of the week, so welcome, everyone. Really fun. Load up, load in. All good. Great. So today we're doing deviled eggs, steak deviled eggs specifically. I'm really excited to do it. I got some water going here, and I'm gonna do a roasted red pepper in the deviled egg mixture. So I have the broiler on so that I can roast the red pepper first. And if you haven't hung out with me yet, first of all, welcome. We just hang out. I'm gonna cook something from start to finish, so it's gonna take about an hour. I like when you comment and chat with me. I'll answer your questions. And yeah, we're just here to hang out in the kitchen together. So, oh, and last week we lost some people on a few channels, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. I've tweaked the settings and I think we're gonna be good. But if you can't hear me or if there's any issues, make sure to let me know. So I have a red pepper here just on a pan, and I washed it, and I'm just gonna put it under the broiler and kind of keep my eye on it. But if you guys smell anything burning, just let me know. And I forgot to grab the eggs, so I'm gonna grab those and put them into the boiling water as well. Hello, Mom. Welcome. You watch on a different channel every week, which is great. I always have trouble deciding how many eggs to make for deviled eggs because we love the deviled eggs so much here. So I'm gonna do 6 today. And the water's boiling, so I'm just gonna drop them in. I've done hard-boiled eggs so many different ways over the years. For a while, I would put them in cold water, bring it up to a boil for 1 minute, and then let them sit for 15 minutes. I don't know who has time for that, but it just was a way that always worked for me, so that's what I did for a while. But now, the way I usually do it is just boil them for about 8 minutes and cool them off real quick, and that's it. Speaking of cooling off, I have an ice bath somewhere. Here it is. But yeah, do you guys like deviled eggs? Everyone loves deviled eggs. I mean, that's what I think, but who knows? Thanks, Linda. I think it's a cool recipe too. Have my iced coffee. Need something to stay awake for this hour, or at least stay lively. Pepper is browning up a little bit, so that should be good. I have the steaks here. I'm going to talk about that for a minute. Did everyone, speaking of this, did everyone see my Wellington ravioli from yesterday? I thought that recipe was a lot of fun. And I did it with tenderloin, which I normally don't honestly cook with tenderloin, but it got me sort of once I cook with something, I start thinking of like all the different ways to use it. And I thought for a recipe like this, it makes a lot of sense to use tenderloin because with a deviled egg, you want it to be very tender overall, just like with the raviolis that I posted yesterday. You don't want, like normally when I eat a steak, I want it to be nice and chewy and have like a real strong steak flavor, which is why I prefer sometimes like skirt steak, flank steak, or even sirloin. But I will say, when you buy tenderloin, notice how these are kind of like weird shaped. Unless you really are like looking for that perfect steak on a date night, you don't have to buy the more expensive tenderloin. These are kind of like the odds and ends, the thin ends that they can't sell as regular steaks. So you get the tenderness and the good flavor of tenderloin, but it's like half price usually. I told you guys to tell me if you smelled burning, and no one did. I'm just going to keep rotating this quarter by quarter until the whole thing's charred up like that. I've never done roasted red pepper in deviled eggs, so I'm interested to see how it's going to come out. I'm excited. In my opinion, it's like hard to really mess up deviled eggs. Those eggs are about halfway done boiling. And then we'll put them in the ice bath and peel them. Which, peeling eggs is like the worst step of deviled eggs by far. Everyone always asks if there's like a secret to it, but there's not. The only real secret actually is buying old eggs, which is kind of like a weird thing, but the older an egg gets, the more air actually develops inside the shell, which is another way to tell if eggs have gone bad. Like if they float, you shouldn't really use them. So if you have eggs that are like a little older but haven't gone bad yet, that's the best way when the shells will come off a little better. The membrane, I mean, I don't know if it's called membrane, but yeah, it does. It is easier to move the shell. Or are you talking about that weird little hard, like the part underneath the shell that's like hard and kind of like dry feeling? Yes. All right, yeah, maybe it is the membrane. Isn't that the membrane? I mean, you can look it up and tell me, but we can all learn something today. Wouldn't that be nice? The basil, I'm gonna do, so it's red pepper in the egg filling, normal deviled egg stuff, and a little basil and steak on top. So I'm pretty excited for that. Rich, I thought you wouldn't like this stream today. I can't believe you like deviled eggs, because don't you hate most of the things that normally go into deviled eggs, like mayo particularly, and mustard? Yeah, we're learning, I guess, how to make deviled eggs and about egg membranes. No, Rich, I'm happy you're here. You're a valued member of this community. I'm just curious, what do you put in your deviled eggs? Or do you just help make them and not eat them? Because that's really nice. Progress. Oh, just for hard-boiled eggs, right? I guess that's true. Not all hard-boiled eggs get deviled. Unfortunately. Doing some math in my head. Those eggs are about done. I'm taking the pepper out here. And covering the pepper, what that's going to do is make it easier to peel when we want to peel it. Because it's going to sort of steam in there for a minute. And the skin is going to fall away from the flesh easier. We're doing a lot of peeling today, I guess. So this might be weird, but actually one of my techniques is to like break the shells a little bit now while they're cooling. And I personally think that helps them peel a little bit. Hi Terry, thank you. No, I'm doing the peppers for like a fun little twist on the deviled eggs. And I think it's gonna go well with the steak and the basil. And while this is cooling off, I'm gonna sear the steaks. Egg wags with meat. What's an egg wag? So this might be slightly more salt than I would use if I was making this for dinner, but I want the steak to be like a strong steak flavor with only a little bit of steak on top of the egg. I have read a novel before, thank you. Things are really moving here. It's great. So we have the eggs cooling, the peppers cooling, and the steak is on the stove. And I am going to get a thermometer because I want to make sure that the steak is hitting the perfect temperature. Sometimes I cook with a thermometer, sometimes I don't, but I don't think you should be ashamed of using a thermometer if you want things to be a really perfect temperature. Hi Bella, you said what would you serve with this? This is going to be like an appetizer since it's deviled eggs, so you know, put it next to like a cheese board or something. Rich, I changed some settings, so I think the stream will probably hold out. It might like slow down more often so that it stays stable across all the platforms. Hopefully. Temperature of the steak is about 60 right now. So I'm gonna pull it off at like 125 so that it hits about 135. We get a perfect rare temperature on it so that on top of the eggs, it's like super tender with like the nice red insides. And it all looks nice, you know, it's important that it looks nice. And it's all going to time up nicely because when the steaks are done, I'll start peeling the eggs and making the filling. Cracking a few windows because the fire alarm here goes off really easily. Good news is the first egg came off nice and clean, so we might be getting lucky. In a related note, do you guys think the way I pronounce egg is weird? Because Georgina says I say it funny. That's that Western Massachusetts accent. Hot dog, yes. Thank you, Kristen, for helping me with the Western Mass pronunciation consultation team. Egg, leg, egg. Red, red. I don't know. Egg. that's a deal breaker for you. The egg pronunciation. That's fair. And you have a small place too. Good luck with that. Yeah, I mean, we've had to have some repair people and stuff in and out, but thankfully we have rooms now, which we didn't have at our last apartment, so there is at least a place to hide. By the way, for the record, I don't say hot dog, Kristen, sorry. But I have heard that from people. From Western Mass people. Hello, welcome. We have viewers from Sweden now. More peeling to do. This beard isn't enough? Sorry. What's the length to officially call it a beard? So thanks to putting this in the bowl with the plastic wrap over it, as you can see, the skin is peeling right off. And you may want to get the feeling like you want to wash this, but you shouldn't wash it. because you're going to wash away a lot of the really good roasted pepper flavor. At least 2 inches is how long you need? All right, got it. I'll strive to do better for you. Yours is 6, but Brian's 12, so he wins. Sorry to tell you, that's the rules. Them's the rules. I just threw a little mayo in here. I have some more. That might not be enough. Thank you, Rich. Hi, Brandy. Yes, make sure you tell me when you make the timpano. One of my favorite recipes. Are you going to do the lasagna one or the one with just with puff pastry? Thank you. Yes, you can find this shirt on TeePublic. For some reason, I made them and then never announced it. And Rich, the designer, is here in the chat. So normally I don't put garlic into deviled eggs, but I feel like with the steak, the garlic will be nice. This might seem like an odd mixing bowl, but I'm going to use a hand blender. So vertical bowls are better for when you use a hand blender, for sure. And even though I'm blending this, I still do like to grate garlic because I just don't want any chunks in there. Thank you all who bought the shirt, especially since I didn't even promote them. I'm gonna add a little hot sauce. You guys like this hot sauce? One of my faves. Ooh, that's a good egg right there. Especially since I wasn't really paying attention to the time. Rich, if you do the ice bath, you're less likely to have any of the green or gray in the egg. These are also good eggs. They're Vital Farms, which I like a lot. Which is why the yolk can be so vibrant as well. You never get what, Rich? Oh, the gray. Well, good for you. Just getting some of these do. I'll deal with that in a second. The only problem with cooking these really nicely like this is that the yolks are a little harder to come out. Normally, if you overcook them a little bit, they'll just kind of fall out and crumble out. We got lucky with the peeling and not lucky with the yolks. There we go. Ah, broke one. That's fine. Alex, you should feel better about yourself. I'm sure your food and your accidents are great. And I'm not about to get into a debate about Star Wars movies publicly on the internet, so I'll pass on that question. But they're all good. Cool. So that's done. In my head, I'm thinking. So we have mayo, mustard, red pepper, egg yolks. I think we just hot sauce, and we just need a little vinegar. I'm gonna add more hot sauce too. My stick blender is broken, so it makes a weird noise. So maybe one of you all will get me one for Christmas. It wouldn't be a stream if Rich didn't ask me why I'm not putting pepper in something. So yeah, it is a little liquidy. I was worried it might be because of one reason is the red pepper. But the other reason is because it's like still warm from the red pepper. So I'm just going to... I'm going to actually put it on like a flat pan in the freezer for about 5 minutes. Hopefully that'll thicken it a little bit. So it honestly was already thickening when I poured it on the thing. So I think we're going to be in good shape. Yeah, it tastes great. Actually, yeah, the red pepper is good. I've never had it in a deviled egg. It's very good. I'm just moving these here for when I fill them, and then we'll put them on a nicer plate later. And I do have a deviled egg plate, which is something I thought I would never get, but we were at a point last year where we were making them a bunch and for a lot of people. But the plate, I grabbed it at like Home Goods or one of those stores, and it's for a full 24 eggs, so don't really use it as often. The basil they gave me today from the store is not good. But I grabbed what I could from it. But to help it a little bit, I actually dunked it quickly in that ice water that I had ready for the eggs, dried it, and put it into the fridge right away. So it's actually like in not that bad shape right now. So I'm just stacking the basil on top of each other. And then roll it up tight. I'm going to cut the stems off. And that's just going to go on top of all the eggs. What are you putting on your avocado toast? Anything good or just regular? Steak's good, in case anyone was wondering. Purple? No, it's not. Perfect. Actually, that is a little purple. This one, though. Up, whichever way up is. All right, almost everything's ready here. We're just crossing our fingers about the filling there. So I always use a piping bag for stuff like this, and I think it makes it look way better. But, you know, it's up to you. But I think this is the second time I've used a piping bag on the stream. And for me, like, obviously, it's important to me to take photos of what I'm cooking. But I just think it makes it so much more appetizing looking. And right now I'm just cleaning up these eggs a little bit. You can't really see. Getting rid of some of the extra yolks on the side. Great. I'm going to see how things are going with that filling. Very good. See, look. This might be too thin to use the piping bag properly. Are we going to have our first fail on the stream? We'll be together at least. Hold on, making a mess. Yeah, I just tested it again to see if it was cold. And it is cold, but it's a little wet still. So I'm gonna test this one and see how it looks. You can't see what I'm doing. I made a flat one to see. I mean, you know what? It does look kind of nice, but when it's flat like that, you need to have a little height with the with a deviled egg. Green? What about green? Oh, the color. So my first comment is this tastes amazing. But it's so runny. But I'm just gonna do it. Let's move this down a notch. Less sink. All right, now I have the steak. I'm just gonna like drape it kind of across. Steak and yolk is very good. I would like it to be a little thicker, but I was thinking of breakfast with this, like steak and eggs. I mean, can't beat it. So this is like a really good flavor, and there's also red pepper in this mixture. And I think what I'm gonna do with this is I will Like usually I post these a week later with the full recipe. So I'm going to work on the recipe to get that filling perfect. And then when I post it, I'll have a nice photo for you guys and a better actual version of the recipe. But I mean, honestly, like these look real good anyways. But if they had that thicker filling and a little height on them, they would be even better. I'm going to make a separate one to eat. Definitely really good. Really good. I mean, this is like a classic combo. I've always loved steak and red pepper. Add the basil and the egg yolk. It's so good. So good. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I came up with this. I was just thinking, actually, I'll tell you. One of the ideas I wrote in my head is steak with like a carbonara sauce. I thought it would be funny to like cook a steak and when it's real hot, mix it with a bunch of egg yolks so that the sauce, the way pasta and carbonara is formed, it would happen with the steak. And I kept like thinking of the idea and I was like, what about like a steakhouse steak and eggs deviled egg? And that's where I came up with this idea. So thanks, Lynn. Yes, I appreciate it. And also because I was working with the tenderloin on the what were they that I posted yesterday? The beef Wellington ravioli. So I was like, how else can I use tenderloin? This is how I thought of doing it. So, but yeah, thank you guys all for watching. It has been a really fun stream today, and these came out really good, but not quite right. But I love that. I love sharing that with you because when I have a failure in my kitchen and it's just myself, it's not as fun. I usually get mad about it. But it's great having people watch and I can learn from it. And I will post the recipe of this next week, but like a better fixed version of it. So yes, I stream every Thursday in the afternoon, new recipes each time that I come up with as we do it. So thanks for watching and make sure to tune in next Thursday. Also follow me on Instagram or all social media at TFIMB, The Food in My Beard. I post the recipes on my website, thefoodinmybeard.com. And you can grab them all, the links on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere else.